You're listening to Ideas and Leaders podcast. I'm Elena Paweta, Executive Communication Coach and TEDx organizer. With each episode, I'll share with you communication tips and ideas from top business leaders to help you excel in your career. Welcome to the next episode of Ideas and Leaders podcast. Today, I'm speaking with Simon Severino. We are going to have an interesting conversation because Simon is a CEO and founder of StrategySprints.com. He is a strategy advisor for Fortune 500 companies. Wow, he is working globally, so he has a lot of experience been working with the CEOs on their company's strategies and growth. So definitely a lot of interesting topics for our audience. Hi, Simon. It's great to have you on Ideas and Leaders.
Hey, Elena. Hey, everybody. Cool to be here.
Thank you so much for joining us and for having this conversation. So, Simon, I wanted to ask you, how did you start? How did you get to help business owners? Where did you start, and where was this breakthrough moment when you realized that, yes, this is what I want to do?
21 years ago, I had to pick some form of profession, and I wasn't ready for that. The only thing that I knew is I'm more interested in people than anything else. And then, so I started working with people and then finding out what is exactly my superpower. And it took quite a while, but at some point turned out I am good at solving big problems with international teams. And so I said, what are your biggest problems? And mainly their problem is more time, more money. I picked one of those and I stayed with it for the next years. And so I just learned everything about it and solved the problems. So when they had to roll out a new product into an existing market, or they had to expand in an existing market, or to enter a new market. So this was currently their biggest problem. And I was on fire. I said, all right, let's go. We will solve this and we will go apart when we have solved it. And so I had to deliver. And by doing that, I've amassed a set of things that work. Those I was saving all the time. And now it's the 274 tools in the Sprint University. It's basically a CEO university, right? How do you systemize marketing? How do you systemize sales? How do you systemize operations? And how do you systemize hiring and firing? Because those are the big problems of everybody running a business. And after 1,600 projects, 24 countries in many industries, I had a set of things that was working, and I focused on that. Now, fast forward, a couple of years later, I fired myself from operations, so I couldn't be booked anymore as a coach. And now it's a certification model where I certified strategy sprints coaches, and I coach them. Every Monday we come together. They show me the sprint dashboard of each client. How are these weekly marketing numbers, weekly sales numbers, weekly ops numbers of each client? And this is how I ensure now that it's still having impact and has the right quality, but I'm not in the project. I'm now working on the projects, on the business, which is a new challenge for me, and I like it.
Wow, this is amazing. So you are actually practicing what you preach. Yes. So this is so great to hear how you are developing your business as well, while helping others to develop theirs. And this is not something that we learn at school, right? So yeah, thank you so much for doing this. I think that many entrepreneurs, many business owners, they are struggling every day with new challenges, and they try to figure it out themselves. So such service and such a school for CEOs on strategy is just amazing. So I know that you have a lot of tools and you have a lot of things to share, but if you can just give us a glimpse maybe on this during this episode, because you say that you help CEOs to double their revenue in just 90 days. So I'm sure that there is a lot behind this, but maybe can you just give us a glimpse on what we should do, what we should focus on in order to double our revenues?
Yes, let's do the 3 strategies and the 3 habits. If you want to double revenue in 90 days, it's not even hard. You have to focus on 3 things. Of all the activities that you have right now, your project list, pick only the things that really tick off one of those boxes. Increases by 25% the frequency of your sales, increases by 25% the price that you can charge for the same offer, increases by 25% the conversion rate that you are currently having from your existing leads, existing conversations. So there is 0 marketing involved. You save all marketing costs because that's anyways probably the best idea. Spend 0 in marketing because good operations and good sales is enough. And then sometimes you tell people, okay, about it. Okay, that's marketing. But good operations and good sales, that's actually the important part. And by good operations, I mean, it really solves a problem for somebody who really needs it. And sales is, okay, and you get people to do it with you directly. That's it. That's what you need, especially if you're below 35K per month. Don't touch any marketing, right? You're wasting your time and money. So operations and sales. And in sales, you really focus on just those 3 things. Does it increase by 25% my conversion rate, the frequency of my sales, the price that I can charge for something? If not, don't do it. You focus just on those 3 things for the next 90 days, you will double revenue.
Wow. This is, I think that this is great to actually keep us focused, because I know that many entrepreneurs, when they start, they just focus on marketing, building their social media accounts, posting a lot, and producing a lot of content, writing on LinkedIn here and there. But they don't do the most important thing in business, sales, right? So if we write this list of those main things that actually can bring us new clients, can increase our prices, can increase our conversion rate. So what can we do? How can we focus on this instead of doing all of those things that we're used to do?
Yeah, in my book, I shared literally the checklists and blueprints and exactly what they can do. And if we talk for 8 hours, I can tell you all of these things, but it's really 4 things to do in each of those. So it's 12 things that you need to do, and there are no big things. You can do them in half an hour each if you have the blueprints, and it will take you a bit longer without the blueprints, but half an hour in each and you've done it. It all starts with your daily, weekly, and monthly practice. The daily practice is write down how did you allocate your time today, and what will you delegate, cut, automate next. So tomorrow, what are you start to delegate? Because growing a business means you do stuff, and whenever it works, you write it down, you hand it over. Next person does it. And they do the same thing, and they start hiring. So first you hire, then they hire. This is how you scale a business. That's the structure. You just rinse and repeat this over years, over decades. You are scaling a business, and it's simple. It's like what's this animal? The chambered nautilus, who if you cut him, you see all these chambers, and he builds the next chamber and the next chamber and the next chamber. They're just bigger, but they have the same structures. The Fibonacci number series is always the same structure, golden ratio. But he has to build the next and build the next and build the next. This is how nature grows. This is how businesses grow. Weekly habit, get your core 3 numbers reported every 7 days. Marketing numbers, sales numbers, ops numbers. And latest here, if it's true, what you assume and what I also assume, that most people are not doing enough sales, not enough direct conversations to strangers, then it would pop up in the weekly habit, because now they say, oh, marketing numbers, yeah, we have 270 new subscribers on our email list. Cool, congrats. Oh, unique visitors this week, wonderful. Watch time went up on YouTube, cool. But what's our sales numbers? So on your sales number, numbers of conversations, number of closed deals, numbers of dollars that you closed. And then the ops numbers, how many clients did refer you to other people, did introduce you to other people because they're so happy, and how many clients are pissed and you need immediately to turn them into happy. You need to ask what's missing and then build it and ship it. That's basically the sprint dashboard, right? You pick marketing numbers, sales numbers, ops numbers. Every 7 days you get them. And now things become much smaller. And when they're smaller, you get the information earlier. So you're learning more. And learning is probably the most important thing. How much can you learn about the market, about your people, about what matters? And then the next thing is when things start to go south, you see it earlier. For example, LinkedIn changes the algorithm. You see it earlier because that number is going down instead of up. And so you don't have to wait 3 months later when you have wasted time and money. You see it quicker. That's the weekly habit. And then the monthly habit is, where are we winning? Where are we losing against our competitors? Top 10 features, the top 2 where we are winning, the top 2 where we are losing. Let's cut 15% budget of next month's budget from the 2 features where we are losing, and let's reinvest it in the same month into the 2 features where we are winning. Because if we are winning right now and we put in 15% more resources, attention, money, then we are crushing it. And it's for competitors, it's even harder to catch up because we are already winning. Plus 15%, now we are dominating. And even if it's a slight domination, but it's a domination, they need to run faster to catch up. And so many of them will say, oh no, I can't catch up. No. Let's leave it to them. And this is where then you have a strong strategic position. This is what you want to have. That's why the book is Strategy Sprints. You want to have a strategic position and you want to execute, deliver wow every week. That's the sprints part.
Yeah. So great. So we have those daily, weekly, and monthly practices that we can do. And I can really recommend your book to our listeners to learn more. The book called Strategy Sprints. And I'm speaking with Simon Severino, CEO and founder of strategysprints.com. If you want to learn more, go there but I still wanted to ask a couple more questions. And you said that about the habits that CEOs should have. And we were speaking about the daily, weekly, and monthly practices. What else do you think are the habits of a successful CEO?
I think really time management is one very core, right? How do you make sure that you have me time? How do you make sure that you have deep work? Deep work is when 3 hours uninterrupted and you complete the task. Not just you start it, you complete it until it's 100% finished, not 99%, 100% finished. That's deep work. And then, there are 3 types of work. There is heads down work, the deep work, heads up work, what we are doing now. And then there is heads together work, where you collaborate with your team and build something together. And everybody needs to find their buckets and their flow of when it's best to do what. The process to find it, I use the daily flow, which people can download on strategysprints.com for free. And so I write it down. And after weeks and months, I say, oh, that's the best flow for me. So me time, because I have 3 kids, me time needs to happen before anybody wakes up. Otherwise, I will never have me time again. Father and global CEO, you will never have me time again if you don't have it very early. So the first 2 hours of the day are my time. It's me time, whatever happens. And then everybody wakes up. And then I have some playful time, family time. And then I start working. And when I work, it's deep work first. It's 3-4 hours uninterrupted. And it's just finishing something. It might be creating a full online course from start to end. It might be writing a chapter of a next book. Something big enough that you would otherwise procrastinate it, but it's important enough that you really have to do it. And it's not urgent. The urgent things will happen in the afternoon. Afternoon is usually, oh, this country has this problem, that legal suit is coming from there, that product broke, you are in the newspaper. This is the afternoon. Of course, this thing happened in the morning already, but I don't check the emails in the morning and I'm not reachable in the morning. So in the afternoon, we will solve all of these fires around the globe. It's fine. But you have to know as a CEO, there will always be fires. And if you start with the urgent stuff, if you do the huge mistake of waking up and opening your emails, you are lost. The day is over. The day is over. You are burning already and you are in the fires and it's over. The day is over. You didn't create anything. You just did, how do you say, firefighting, but you are not in the firefighting business. So afternoon, okay. And having ideally processes and people in place to dispatch that. So it shouldn't be your job as a CEO to do that. But of course, looking at their supporting, making sure, orchestrating everything, afternoon. And then also things like interviews, hiring, teamwork, etc. For me, it's the afternoon. And then also make sure that at some point you close the day. Not just when you break down at midnight, but you close the day at a time that you choose and you stick to that time and you make it sacred and you have a ritual of closing the day. I think that's a helpful flow to develop for yourself.
Yes, and this would be perfect, the ideal day, if we get to have deep work, if we get to answer all the emails and close the day on time as we planned. But sometimes life gets in a way and different things happen. I think that the thing that I really liked that you said that every person should choose for themselves. For example, for me, deep work is the best time for deep work is evening. I know that when my kids go to sleep, it is quiet. I sit down and I work for a couple of hours. In the morning, it is harder for me to focus. But for example, today I tried to do deep work. I really tried. I turned on the timer, my Pomodoro technique. I opened my laptop. I started writing an article. I really need to do this article, to finish this article as soon as possible. And something, happened. I remembered about the thing. I had to answer very fast one email. Then I saw other 10 emails. And
that's the point. If you open the email during the deep work, you're lost.
Yes, and I think that it happens quite often, and I don't think that this is only my problem. Even I really try, but many things get in the way, and I think that also it is caused by constant maybe stress and lack of focus, that we all the time were thinking about next things and next tasks. So what do you recommend to your clients, how to actually focus and be here and now, focus on this task and eliminate this constant stress and thinking about the next task?
Yeah, I can show you. So look, this is my daily flow, for example. I'm sharing the screen for the listener listening. I'm sharing the screen. There is my daily flow. What do I do when? This is the template that you can download. And it says exactly what happens when and when is dinner, and nothing can bring me away from this. And I do it every day. And so in this way, in your case, I would have in the evening when my kids sleep, I have my deep work. And in the morning, I would have my hiring interviews, podcast interviews, everything that is more interactive, I would have in the morning. And I would start creating that flow of the ideal week, and it wouldn't be the current week, but every week I would allow myself to move more towards that blueprint and always be kind to myself, because stuff happens and then I will say, okay, today was a challenging day. I'm kind to myself. Just let's write down how I want tomorrow to be. And then tomorrow might be easier to do it. And then the next day might be very hard again. But it's a practice of every day. So you write down your ideal flow and you live your current. And so like 5 years ago, my ideal week and my current week were totally different. And so I had them both. I had 2 calendars in my Google Calendar, because you can create calendars, right? And I had one which was called Ideal Week, and I would look at it. It was very different from my current week, but I would look at it. And when somebody asked me, hey, Simon, do I want to be on my podcast? I say, yeah, give me a second. I click first the ideal week, then I click the current week. And then I say, yeah, Friday afternoon is the time for that. And so gradually, my calendar and that ideal calendar did become more similar. And now that I practice it every day, now it's extremely hard that anything changes, because my whole team, even my clients, know when I'm available for which kind of work. And even if the house is burning, because it's never burning, I'm not in the firefighting business. Even if they need something really, really urgent, they know that I will answer in the afternoon, and it's fine. 5 hours later, answering is fine in most professions, right? If we are not a doctor or a firefighter.
Yes. So I really love it that we need to be kind to ourselves and not stress too much. I think that we are overthinking very often, and we are stressing too much about the things that maybe do not matter. And if we answer this email a couple of hours later, nothing will happen.
Yes.
So
and sometimes we are too much in the head instead of in the body. So what helps me in our mastermind, we do even breathing techniques together. So when you get to a certain level as a CEO, there are not many sales tactics and marketing tactics that you're looking for. You're looking for more balance and more, in the moment, happiness in the moment and calmness in the moment. Even if around you there's a lot of stress, but you look for more centeredness. And so what we are discussing right now and sharing right now and doing right now are breathing techniques, short meditation techniques that we are sharing. Some of us, they drink tea instead of coffee, and they talk about how they pour the tea and the texture of it and which tea, etc., so that it's more of a mindfulness practice. Other people like me, I have kids, so I go to my kids and I play with them, and I immediately in the moment, and I'm grounded. They ground me totally. Or I cook and I cook with them. This is something that grounds me totally. Or the me time in the morning, it's in nature. I'm running in nature, and that is something that is just pure body. I don't think a lot when I run in nature. I'm just in my body. So this practice is also of seeing when we disconnect from the body and get too much in thinking, because thinking is not really helpful. Being present is helpful.
Yes. This work-life balance is so important. Not only focusing on business, but also focusing on ourselves and our well-being. I also had a run today in the morning, and I had so much more energy during the day. I was more focused. I was more in my body in the moment. So I totally support you on this, that this is important for business leaders who want to focus on their business. So Simon, I wanted to ask you the last question, that with time, as we run our businesses, things get more and more complicated, and we get overwhelmed, we get stressed. So how do you recommend your clients to simplify their businesses, to make them more simple, but to scale them at the same time?
Simplifying is hard, but there are some tricks because it's really important. And so the trick that I use is, I think, okay, what's if we totally simplify a business, what is it actually? It's, hey, hello, here we are. Hey, do you want to work with us? And all right, let's do it. These are the 3 things. That's a business. And so let's call the first one marketing, the second one sales, and the third one is operations. These are the only 3 things that you need to do. And so you might do that in 3 hours per week, actually, and have a great lifestyle business if you just charge properly. So if we simplify it that way, let's think of marketing, sales, and operations department. That's the business. And now, even if you're just a solopreneur, you are all those three. So you write your name, marketing department, sales department, operations department, your name. And now you start interviewing yourself. Hey, how do you do it? Next week, you have 3 new clients. What do you do in each of those? And then you write it down. Now you have processes. And this is the first step to simplify, is to write it down. That's for the solopreneur. The solopreneur needs to do this work, write it down, and now start hiring freelancers and handing it over. Now, what if you're a big business and you have 40,000 people? How is simplifying there? There, we work with the focus card. The focus card is a tool people can download where on one page, just one tab of a spreadsheet, and you have the 3 years vision broken down into the 1 year's goals, broken down into this quarterly activities. And then on this side is the key metrics and who does what, all on one page. This is for me the simplifying tool number one. And I use this every month. We write down all our activities. We start with vision and then yearly plan and quarterly plan. And quarterly is the most important for us because everything we plan is the next 90 days, 3 goals, 3 numbers. That's it. And so if you are a huge business, this is how you simplify with the focus card and 3 goals for the next 90 days and 3 numbers that you measure every 7 days. And if you're a small business, marketing, sales, operations, write down and start delegating.
Wow. So many useful and very important information you shared today. Thank you so much, Simon. I'm sure that this episode is very valuable to our listeners, no matter which stage of business they're at. So if our listeners want to contact you, want to maybe take part in your program, where can they find you?
I hang out at strategysprints.com. This is where you can download all these things. The book is on Amazon. It's called Strategy Sprints. And I have also 2 YouTube channels where I share whatever mistakes and learnings I have in that week. One is called Simon Severino and one is called Strategy Sprints.
Great. Thank you so much, Simon, for being on Ideas and Leaders. It was such a pleasure talking to you today.
Thank you, Elena. Thank you, everybody. Keep rolling.
Thank you for listening to Ideas and Leaders podcast. Did you enjoy this episode? Let me know that you listened by tagging me in your LinkedIn profile and using a hashtag Ideas and Leaders. See you in the next episode.